Session 23B, Advanced JAWS Features, The Path to Academic and Professional Excellence, presented by Sam Taylor.
Thank you, Fia. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sam Taylor from Vision Australia. I'm very excited to be speaking today on a topic that holds significant relevance in the field of education and employment, Advanced JAWS Features, The Path to Academic and Professional Excellence. As we know, JAWS is certainly not the only screen reader option available, with NVDA being an alternative that I regularly recommend in my practice, as it's an excellent option for the majority of everyday tasks. However, I want to highlight some of the less commonly talked about features of the JAWS screen reading software, which students across all educational stages may find beneficial. Next slide. You may know that JAWS includes features such as OCR, place markers, and proofreading options. You can be alerted to inconsistencies in fonts or punctuation, which a blind student may not otherwise pick up on. So this can be rectified before the submission of an assignment. As of JAWS 2024, pictures within documents or on the web can also be described by JAWS just by using a few keystrokes. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how advanced components of JAWS can foster independence and build confidence for students transitioning to tertiary education or entering the workforce. We'll explore the text analyzer, JAWS place markers, the custom labeler, and JAWS scripting, and how these can help make our students' tertiary journey even more successful. Next slide. Let's start with a powerful yet underutilized feature of JAWS, the FS Clipboard. FS stands for Freedom Scientific. Usually, when we copy an item to the clipboard in Windows, the previous item is replaced by the new text or the new item. With FS Clipboard, it's instead appended, which saves significant time when collating notes for study purposes. We start by selecting and copying text to the clipboard in the normal way, using Control-C. Then, to append additional text from a web page or a document, use JAWS key plus Windows plus C. The new text will then be added to the clipboard. And finally, you can paste the compiled text selections into your document using Control with V. The items will appear sequentially. I'd like to now show you a short video demonstrating how this works in practice. Next slide.
On my screen, I have an essay comprising around 7,000 words dealing with two works by 20th century British composer Benjamin Britten. There are two sentences which I'd like to copy from the essay to the clipboard so that I can add them to my own notes for future reference. The first sentence is on chamber music, the second about chamber operas. I'll turn my speech on,
full speech,
and locate the two sentences now.
Finally, the section analyses a selection. This allows a judgment to be made. Page 2. Chamber music is most simply defined as music that is for a small ensemble.
There's the first sentence, which I'll select.
Chamber music is...
and copy to the clipboard with Control-C. We'll find our second sentence on chamber opera.
In other words, the sonata form is just as viable. Chamber operas are defined as left quote to...
There it is, we'll select it.
Chamber operas are defined using a chamber orchestra.
If I were to copy this sentence, it would erase the first sentence on my clipboard. Instead, we're going to press Windows plus JAWS plus C. Let's see now what happens
blank
if I paste with Control-V.
Chamber music is most simply defined.
There's our first sentence.
Chamber operas are defined as left quote 20th century operas of small or intimate proportions.
As you can see and hear,
speech on demand.
Both those sentences are now on the clipboard, allowing me to study without moving between screens, having much easier access to notes.
Thank you. Next slide. As students enter tertiary education, the need for quick access to information and speedy problem solving becomes more important than ever before. There isn't a visiting teacher who can assist with their setup or their submissions, and most of the time they're pretty well on their own. There are some features within JAWS that can help with speeding up workflows, as well as making frequently visited websites easier to manage. Let's talk about place markers. Imagine navigating a 200-page online document using speech, but needing to regularly return to specific sections. We'll assume that the document contains no headings or heading styles and indeed no discernible way of navigating except by line. Place markers allow students to set specific points of reference within web pages or documents. This greatly simplifies the task of navigating long documents and is also useful when you need to return to frequently used areas on a web page or certain parts of a detailed form. Multiple place markers can be added to web pages or PDF files, while only one can be added to a Word document. Let's now see an example. Next slide.
What I'm going to show you now not only works on the web, but in PDF files as well. I'm on the MyUQ webpage, and I want to quickly access the Student Central link, which is a fair way down the page when using a screen reader.
Full speed, my.u welcome notifications, what's on heading level 2, UQ Essentials, list, library link, academic, UQ campus, Student Central link.
And there it is. So I could search for the link using the find command each time, or I could use the links list. However, there's a faster way if I need to access this link regularly. Press Ctrl-Shift-K to bring up the Place Markers dialog.
Place marker list dialog.
Tab to the Add button.
Add ...
Press Enter or space.
Place marker list dialog. Name : edit. Student Central.
Student Central is fine.
Define for all pages on current domain checkbox not checked.
We don't need to check that box this time, but if there were numerous pages with this link, we could indeed check that box.
Anchor to text checkbox not checked.
That's usually quite important to check, so we'll check that.
Checked. Anchor text : edit. Student Central.
That's fine.
OK button.
Press
Alt +
OK.
O.
And we're back on the web page. We'll go to the top.
My.uq-university.
And instead of having to hunt for the link, this time we'll simply press the letter K.
Student Central link.
And there it is. Without having to employ any difficult screen reader commands, just press K and you're straight on the place marker.
Speech on demand.
Next slide. When editing a document using only speech output, inconsistencies such as unmatched parentheses, unintentional format changes, extra white space, and stray punctuation can often be missed. Text Analyzer is a tool that notifies you of these errors in your document by using a spoken message or a sound. Next slide.
Let's return to our Benjamin Britten essay. However, this time I've made some deliberate errors to see whether our text analyzer can pick them up.
Full speech. Benjamin Britten left parent.
Let's start by pressing Windows Alt and I for the text analyzer.
Font change italic on. The.
Already it's told me that there is italics where it might not need to be. Let's just check the font.
Italicized. 12.
There is italics for the word the.
Originality. 12 point. Black on white.
And no italics for the next word. So let's go back to that original word, the. And take off the italics.
Italic off.
Let's go back to the top.
Benjamin Britten.
And check for inconsistencies with Alt Windows I.
Space run at 30. Page
Space run at 30.
space left quote.
Ah yes, too many spaces. There's 2 spaces instead of 1. Let's delete one of those spaces.
Left quote.
And search for the next inconsistency.
Space run at 80. Page 3.
What else do we have?
Unclosed left paren at 33. Page.
Unclosed left paren.
An opened right bracket at 7.
And an unopened right bracket. So what's happened here is that I've opened my parentheses, but instead of a closed paren, I've used a square bracket. I haven't used the correct bracketing. So this is just an example of some of the ways in which Text Analyzer can help students proofread quickly
media. PictureSmart can even assist blind people to independently shop for white goods by revealing whether or not the device in question contains a touchscreen or tactile dials. There are numerous options available, but they all begin with the keystroke JAWS key plus spacebar, followed by the letter P. In a moment, I'm going to show you a picture. You'll notice that initially, JAWS only tells us the name of the image. As blind people, we can use our imagination, but let's see if we can do a little better than that today. Next slide.
Tropical Island.jpg.
Okay, Tropical
Full
Island.
speech. PictureSmart.
I
PictureSmart is in
invoked
progress.
PictureSmart and W for window.
The image depicts a picturesque tropical beach scene. Two lounge chairs are positioned on a sandy shore under a large beach umbrella. Between the chairs, there is a table with two colourful cocktails featuring fruit garnishes and umbrellas. The turquoise sea is calm, with lush, green islands in the background. Tall palm trees frame the scene, and the sky is blue with fluffy clouds and bright sunlight, casting soft shadows on the sand. Link ask questions about this image. Link get more details. Link give feedback about this feature. Edit button collapsed one of C.
Thank you. Next slide. We wouldn't have had anywhere near that degree of detail before PictureSmart. Next, let's look at the custom labeler. Many modern applications and websites contain controls that are not inherently accessible to JAWS. The custom labeler can be a game changer here, as it enables users to label unrecognized controls, thereby making them accessible. Imagine an online banking platform where the buttons are either unlabeled or poorly described. The custom labeler enables users to provide meaningful labels, allowing a user to manage their finances independently, a feat that might require assistance without such a feature. For this example, let's look at something a little more lighthearted. I had tertiary students in mind when I created these examples, and I guessed that between lectures, tutes, and study sessions, they may need to eat occasionally. So, with that in mind, let's pay a visit to one of Brisbane's boutique pizza chains, Pizza Capers. Next slide.
Welcome to Pizza Capers. Great pizzas, not so great website. Your average sighted customer may take 5 to 10 minutes to peruse the menu, make a selection, and check out. A blind screen reader user, 40 to 50 minutes. Why? Because this website contains verbose and unlabeled buttons, links, and graphics. I'll give you some examples.
Full speech. Delivery button. Have an account. Upload / pizza _ capers _ preview _ menu _ small _ card _
Oh dear, I heard menu there, but so much more.
Upload / pizza _ capers _ deals _ small _ card. Upload / pizza _ capers _ careers.
So there are some problems here. What about further down the page?
List. Link graphic assets / Apple _ store _ logo _ 91 million.
So I think that's the app to install on an iPhone, and the one underneath?
Link graphic assets / Android _ store _
For Android. But again, lots of problems. And down the bottom of the page?
Visited link. Content info region. Link.
These are all our socials, our social media links, and they're all unlabeled. Now, web developers are busy people, and although we'd love for accessibility to be at the forefront of everything they create, sometimes we just need to employ our own workarounds. Let's therefore use the JAWS custom labeler to see what can be done. We do this with JAWS key plus Control plus Tab. So let's move back to our first example.
Upload / pizza _ capers _ preview _ menu _
I heard menu there, so we'll call it menu. So JAWS plus Control plus Tab.
Custom label dialog.
And we'll call it menu. Now let's see how that sounds.
No graphic. Close graphic. Pizza capers. Have an account. Menu link graphic.
Menu, much better. We'll do one more up here.
Upload / pizza _ capers _ deals.
We'll call that one deals.
Custom label. Upload / deals link graphic.
Excellent. And you would do the same thing with the
assets / Apple _ store _
these links for the Apple Store.
Link graphic assets / Android _ store.
And for Android. So we'll call this one
custom label dial.
Android download,
Link graphic assets /
and
custom labeled.
Apple download. Let's now see how this page reads.
Pete's appears to be menu link graphic, deals link graphic, upload / Pete,
I didn't label careers.
custom.
Let's try again.
Rewrapping to top. Pizza appears to be pickup button, delivery button, have an account, menu link graphic, deals link graphic, careers link graphic. No place marker, visited link. Wrap heading level 2 Hungary. Let's start with some details. JAWS find link graphic Apple download. Link graphic Android download.
As I'm sure you'll agree, that reads the site significantly better.
Finally, let's talk about scripting. JAWS scripts can be written to automate a variety of functions, making applications more accessible or quicker to use. For instance, keystrokes can be created to navigate to sections of a screen that are otherwise unreachable. Or scripts can execute sequences of actions with a single command, emulating what a sighted student might do with a mouse. If a student needed to access their online science class folder regularly, then why not assign a script to, say, Control-Alt-S that instantly does this, rather than them having to tab 26 times? Because these files live in the logged-on user profile, there's a very good chance that they can be installed and used without requiring admin rights. Scripts can also provide prompts for a student. I'm going to let you hear a simple example scripted for Microsoft Teams. What you're about to hear is an excerpt from a chat. It contains an attachment for some company meeting notes. JAWS will read the chat twice, once normally, and the second time with a JAWS script installed. The JAWS script does two things. You'll hear a slight pop at the beginning of the second announcement. This alerts the user that there is an attachment. If the user is very skilled at using Teams, then they wouldn't even have to wait for any further instruction and could immediately perform an action on the attachment, downloading the file. The second thing to listen out for is a prompt at the very end of the announcement telling the user what to do in case they haven't encountered attachments in Teams before. Listen carefully to the two excerpts. Next slide.
Graham Hickman minutes from this morning's team meeting. The message has an attachment. Wednesday, 4 September 2024, 14:05.
So the second version will now play with JAWS scripting enabled. Listen out for the sound.
Graham Hickman minutes from this morning's team meeting. The message has an attachment. Wednesday, 4 September 2024, 14:05. To view, press enter, then tab twice.
And if I do that,
Enter, like toggle button. Reply button. File attachment minutes for Q2 Greater Brisbane meeting 04.09.2024.docs.
I was told exactly what to do by the JAWS script. Thank you. Next slide. So together, the advanced JAWS features we've worked through today offer a dynamic toolkit designed to equip blind students and professionals with essential resources for academic success and career progression. JAWS is not just a screen reader. It's a powerful ally in the pursuit of academic and professional excellence. These features, Picture Smart, Place Markers, the custom labeler, and JAWS scripting allow for a more inclusive and accessible environment for blind students and professionals. It fosters independence, builds confidence, and promotes a diverse and equitable workforce. Thank you for listening.